Welcome back to the channel, everyone. But before we begin today's lesson, I have to share a piece of exciting news. We have reached 300,000 subscribers as of today. Believe me or not, we have reached this milestone prior to the end of the year. This is all because of your help and assistance. I am grateful to each and every one of you who have subscribed to this channel and have been watching our lessons. To tell the truth, I didn't think we'd reach this milestone on time, and I am so blown away by the way and by the number of you guys who hang out here every day for commentary, for entertainment, for friendship, and for a little fun too. I am so very grateful to you all for being here. Moving along, let's discuss the topic for today. In my video from yesterday, I shared my thoughts on the feud between Janelle and Kody, but following up on the matter today has revealed new developments about what is going on and what might happen next for Janelle. This season has been tricky for me because if I'm honest, we're just so behind in the episodes. When I do a reaction video, it's hard to merge what's going on now and what's happened already because it's like the show is a year behind. I get comments like, "Oh, but Janelle laughed there and Janelle did that there," and I have to remind people that I'm reacting to what's right in front of me and not what's happened yet. It's kind of a fine line they have to walk. They have to react to what they've experienced in the past while paying attention to what they're posting on their current social media updates. It's hard sometimes to balance the two because what I'm watching, that's old news. The conversation about it that I'm seeing, that's very contemporary. Retrospective viewing on recorded footage from last year has pretty much verified some things which we had long had a feeling about. I think more and more people are finally realizing that a lot of what they are seeing on reality programming isn't necessarily the truth. The previous day, I talked a bit about the larger picture that exists, which is basically what the overall theme of the show was. The show was all about a polygamous family, but that is not the overall theme of the show at all. They are linked to the persons who are campaigning for the decriminalization of polygamy, basically because the show has often focused on that aspect as well. This is how the theme has always remained a major part of the show, because the show was not just focusing on the family aspect, but creating a way for the perception of polygamy to change. But one wonders, to what effect? And in some ways, it did work. A few years ago in Utah, polygamy was officially lowered to a misdemeanor, which was sort of the end result of this. But this is where things get confusing, because basically the only side of polygamy we ever get from this show is one side of it. For a long time, we thought the Browns were being the real deal, but they're not. They're lying to us. No ambiguity about it. Trust. And this isn't an easy thing for you to conceptualize, given that we're dealing with reality TV here. But trust when I say that absolutely, they lied. A lot. And on top of that, Kody Brown is without a doubt in my mind a raging narcissist with a very specific agenda he wanted to fulfill. And as a result, he could get the women in his family to fall in line and oftentimes lied about their relationships for the purposes of this TV reality show. Christine actually brought this up on her podcast last week with Kate Casey. She explained it was a concern Kody had for her being in a lead role in some ways in the show. Well, of course, as they say, the show must go on. Editing, motivations, and all sorts of things come with reality TV, so it is normally up to whoever signed the deal, which of course was Kody, to get all of the most positive play. Even so, it was very much a story of Kody in this situation. It doesn't look like things are going well this round. I think the production is definitely setting it up like Kody is the one being wronged. And honestly, Kody isn't making things better for himself. At the current moment, we are all left wondering what will occur in the relationship between Janelle and Kody. Now, let's discuss a few things that are floating around on social media, and then I will give you the information that has been discovered today. But before I dive into this, can I ask you for a little favor? Could you please hit that like button? And if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, I would be super grateful if you did. We've now passed our old goal of having 300,000 subscribers, but I would love to set a new goal of having 500,000 at some stage, though I'm not sure about that happening in the next month or so. Having more of you in this little group here, being involved in our comments, is truly incredible. So if that applies to you, do hit that subscribe button on your way out. And don't forget to hit that little bell icon so that you're alerted whenever new content appears. Oh, and hit that comments button below if you think of anything. I love hearing what you're thinking. Moving on to the latest buzz, there are rumors that Janelle has broken up with Kody. Gwendolyn, however, later went back on her statement about Janelle's relationship status. There was a TikTok video about how Janelle has actually left, and Gwendolyn was adding gasoline to the fire. However, once it reached her family, her story changed, and apparently she's still there, unfortunately. However, The Sun published several articles that claim that Janelle actually did leave. The sources state that this occurred in approximately May or June of 2022. Now, I'm really believe that there might have been an occurrence sometime in May or June, because that is when Kody and Robin created an LLC for themselves for the entertainment part. Prior to that, the whole family had been under Kody Brown Family Entertainment, then changed to Dabsark Entertainment, which appears to be their multimedia corporation, most likely the LLC under which they will collect the money from the TLC. This corporation was actually formed back in May 2022, and here's the twist. Kody and Rob and Kody only ones written down. Mary and Janelle are not included there, despite being part of the initial Kody Brown family entertainment. Christina is still included in the original corporation, which is based in the state of Nevada, but conducts most of its business in Arizona. So effectively, Kody and Robin seem to have pushed Janelle and Mary out of the business. This was something that I found rather intriguing at the time, and we did cover this when it happened for the first time. Now, let me give you another example. Just last week, Janelle launched her own startup. In any other family situation where they outright opened a new business, it didn't matter if it was in connection with one of their other multi-level companies. It seemed like every single person in their family might be included, but not this time. It's just Janelle. It appears to correlate with the address that she has been using in connection with another business, maybe as she begins to create her own independent venture outside of involvement with Kody and Robin. Janelle has really spread her own wings. Last year, Janelle was part of the family business. However, this year, Janelle has undertaken something on her own. Janelle Brown Paxis LLC is the name of her new venture. It was officially incorporated on November 29, 2022. She's operating out of a business location in Flagstaff. This is where her offices are located and where she operates her business out of. And here's the best part. Only she is listed as being part of this business. There isn't anyone else from her family involved with it in any way whatsoever. This will give her 100% profit from anything she makes with Plexus. The past 6 months or so, Janelle has been very involved in Plexus and working hard at promoting it. Prior to that, she had not been involved much online at all in their MLM business, but it appears that she has decided to take matters into her own hands. This business does not include Christine either. Christine has her own LLC in Utah for the same thing, but there is no Kody included in Janelle's business, and that does not appear to be a coincidence. In this way, we have two things that differ. Kody and Robin have their own business. They do not include Janelle at all. The business includes only Kody, Robin, and their children. It is a sign of their family unit. Janelle ventures out and starts her own business, not in collaboration with Kody and Robin, but on her own. As for Mary Brown, truthfully, I don't know what she's doing there. And let's be honest, does anyone think she has anything to do with what goes on in the family? I mean, she might as well be a name for all she actually does. In this stage, Mary is only a name on paper, while other dynamics in the family keep on shifting. Then you have Janelle and her business, Kody and Robin and their business, and finally, her way with holidays. During Thanksgiving, she was out in Las Vegas with her son Logan and a newly married Michelle. They hosted a family gathering in their new home that Logan and Michelle constructed. The entire family showed up for this gathering, except for, of course, Janelle. A few days later, she was again in Vegas with Hunter and the kids, engaging in holiday activities such as making gingerbread houses. Hunter seems to have moved in with his girl in Vegas as well. Thus, Janelle is definitely celebrating the holiday with the kids, not Kody. She's not posting pictures with him, nor are there any indications that Kody is with her in all these occurrences. Along with all that, with the new business that makes her independent, there are markings that could possibly depict a separation. Nevertheless, they have not yet announced anything official. However, there is going to be a brand new episode this week where Kody is yelling at Janelle about pitting the boys against him, even though that's not what Janelle is doing at all. If I'm not mistaken, the one who is doing the pitting is Kody, by turning the wives against each other and the kids against the wives. In my opinion, this is plain old narcissist manipulation, triangulation. He sets up two players to play the game of good and bad, and then manipulates them to play each other. He achieves his ends and keeps them all dancing on their heels, while those caught up in this mess are simply trying to figure out whose dance to follow. So here's how it plays out in Kody's case, where he is always triangulating others, lining up someone as the good one and another as the bad one, and putting everyone in a situation where they are left suspicious of the other parties. Those in the triangle do not trust anyone, and Kody is always the one in the driver's seat. He's always dealing with storylines, manipulating situations, doing whatever he has to do to make sure things turn out for him. But now he's losing control. And based on what I'm reading on social media sites, I think people are very frustrated with Kody and how he chooses to behave. I even asked you guys, would you tune in if it were just Kody and Robin? The overwhelming reply, no. There's no interest in a show like that. But the big questions are, of course, what happens if Janelle decides she wants out? How does the rest of the show go down? And quite simply, what about their family? What about their faith, their relationships, which have been put out there and in a way torn apart for the sake of reality TV? Christine actually tackles this issue. She states that she'll keep on contributing because she has a sense of obligation towards the audience. For her, it wouldn't be very honest if she were to stop portraying the reality of the situation without a lot left unmentioned. She wants to be honest about the experience, even if it gets very complicated. She doesn't want to leave quietly while the entire situation is swept under the rug. She has a sense of responsibility towards the audience to provide them with the entire picture, though this also comes with other issues and complications. And then, of course, the children factor, and a divorce that's playing out on camera, not just part of it, but fully recorded as well. I don't even know where to start with all this, Johnson continued, chuckling as he mentioned that this season also marks anew. Will the series carry over into next year? Yes, they're taping now, and the numbers have actually been pretty good. It was originally intended to portray polygamy in an attractive way, but obviously, after this many years, it has come clear that at least in this instance, it doesn't seem to be an effective system. The truth of the matter is that this system of Mormon fundamentalism, or this cult-like situation that this family finds themselves in, isn't good for women or for children. And sadly, Kody happens to be the face of what can be clearly toxic when it comes to men, an absent father who treats his women like property. That's just the truth. I see a lot of folks making arguments to try to justify polygamy, but let me tell you, we're talking about a Mormon fundamentalist group, not people who engage in polyamory.
I am talking, of course, about this particular group, and I personally cannot in good conscience support a system of society where the violation of human rights is occurring. Some people get angry at me for referring to it as Mormon fundamentalism, but that's what it is. They originated out of the mainstream LDS Church, based on the Book of Mormon and religious tenets of the original church. When things split in the mainstream church over polygamy, those folks remained over there, and what you see in these families is a result of that. It's hard to break it all down and see the puzzle pieces, but that's the truth. The dynamic of Kody and Janelle's relationship keeps being broken apart now, and what happens next? Honestly, I do not know. As for what it will mean this season, that's also a mystery to me, but trust me when I tell you that next week will not lack excitement. Well, regarding the number of episodes left in the season, let's just say, this weekend we are on episode 14, and I am not sure if there is going to be episode 15 coverage or if that is the season finale. But I do want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Do you believe the polygamy departure by Janelle to be legitimate? Or better yet, is this merely a function of smoke and mirrors? And after viewing Sisters' Wives, do you believe polygamy to work? Or has this television program changed your perspective? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I look forward to reading them. See you guys later.